There are so many things that you should know when you come to Thailand as a digital nomad. And you will probably have a bunch of questions like, is it even legal to work from here remote? How do I get from A to B? What's the food like? Is it easy to communicate with locals? How easy is it to make friends? And of course, where are the best places to work from? And what should you definitely do while you're in Thailand? In this video, I'm going to give you the answers to all of your nomad questions, including some extra bonuses of Thai culture. So let's begin. So first things first, visa requirements. Thailand is one of the most popular destinations for digital nomads, and there are so many great reasons for that. One, the good internet. It's very affordable. The community, the people, the locals are just so amazing. The food you'll get, there are so many benefits of being in Thailand. But actually, you're not really allowed to work from here. It's a bit of a gray zone. So people are saying you can do any job unless it can be done by a Thai person. So if you work with your UK, European, American, wherever clients, and you just work remote, then it's fine. But if you, let's say you're a photographer and then maybe you meet someone in a co-working space and you offer your photography services to them, you're not actually really allowed, because you're not really digital, to offer that service, because it's a service a Thai person could provide. So it can be a bit tricky. Always check based on your situation if you're allowed to work here. But then also, Thailand now has the Digital Nomad visa. So it's called the DTV, for Destination Thailand visa, which gives you 5 years to work and live in Thailand. However, most of the people that come to Thailand will be on a tourist visa. Yeah, it's very easy to get a tourist visa. They now open the doors also for Sri Lankans, which I'm super excited about. And they also opened the doors for like many people from other countries, which might have a bit more of a hard time to get a visa elsewhere. But us European people with our very privileged passport, we can come to Thailand for 60 days on a tourist visa. And we can extend it for, I think, another month and stay here 3 months in total. If 3 months isn't enough, which it might not be, because Thailand is huge and amazing, you can always get the Digital Nomad visa. So the DTV, the Destination Thailand visa, allows you to stay in Thailand for 5 years. You will have to leave after 6 months though, but I mean, that's quite easy. Like, you could stay here all year with doing one visa round instead of like what you used to do before, like every month and visa extension, and then after 2 months another one, etc. So they actually realized that there are a lot of nomads here and they struggle with the visa stuff, and they opened that up. Just be aware also that if you stay in Thailand for more than 180 days, so pretty much half a year, it doesn't have to be all in one batch, but across one calendar year, if you stay here for that time, you might become a Thai tax resident. But that might not be as bad of a thing as you might think, because I'm trying to do that this year, but that's a different story. So yeah, that's the visa options for you when you come to Thailand. Then another burning question that you might have when you come to Thailand, maybe not so much when you come to Chiang Mai, because you will probably come to Bangkok or another place first, but when you come to Thailand, you will probably need a SIM card. And Thailand has a really good network. There's like 4G, 5G even in some areas. So even if you don't find a good place to work, you can very easily hotspot yourself. So if you come from Bangkok or somewhere else to Chiang Mai, you probably already have a SIM card. If you don't, there are several options you can get. Like, the main providers are AIS and True. I have True. I've had the same SIM card in forever, and I just use my app to top it up, which you might not need to do depending on if you stay here less than a month. You can also top up your mobile data in some 7-Elevens, or you can also go to the malls, find like a True or AIS store and top it up there. Often people are wondering if it's better to get it directly at the airport or at the store. I would just get it at the airport. You don't save that much money. And the thing is, if you go to a store, they don't always speak English, which they will do at the airport. And sometimes you have to pick a number, then you have to wait in the queue. You also have to find the store once you're inside, and you have to find a way there without having internet. So actually, the amount of money that you save compared to the time that you would save by just getting it at the airport, I would just get it at the airport. However, now you also have eSIMs. So if your phone offers you and allows you to use eSIMs, it's also a very good option. Like, I used eSIMs in Sri Lanka where it wasn't that good, but also in Thailand, it's actually really good. I got 4G on my eSIM. The provider I'm using is Aralu. I don't know if I'm saying it properly. And I don't know, maybe they just have good SEO, marketing, whatever. It was just the first eSIM provider I found. And they also have a referral network. So you get a couple quid off, like maybe like $3-4 or something if you use it through a referral link. So I added a link in the description if you need that. So yeah, eSIMs are really good, or just get a SIM card at the airport. And you can always like top up your phone again after. So where are the best places to work from? And Chiang Mai has a ton of options, no matter if you prefer working from proper co-workings, if you like staying at a co-living, or if you want to work from different coffee shops. You will find so many options. Like, you will not even, like, there are just so many things. You can be in a different coffee shop every single day and still you can spend a whole year there without going to the same coffee shop twice. So let's first cover the proper co-workings, then the co-livings, and then the coffee shops. In Chiang Mai, there are two very popular co-workings. One of them is called Yellow Co-working and the other one is Punspace. I personally quite like Punspace. I didn't find it very social, but I like the locations, I like the equipment, I like the layouts of the rooms there. The internet was very good. So if you just want like a proper place to work with AC, where it's quiet, where maybe there are even meeting rooms and stuff, I highly recommend Punspace. There's also Yellow, which is very popular. It's a bit more on the pricey side, and I think it's because it's that popular. And I don't know, maybe it is for you, but for me, it's more like the tech bro crypto guys, and it's just not really my vibe. However, saying that, they do a lot of socials, and even if you're not a Yellow member, you can use their space for a meetup. So for example, a friend of mine organized the potluck dinners over Christmas there every now and then, and you don't have to be a member there. So it's still good to socialize, to organize events. You just ask them if you can use the space, and they just ask you to tag them and mention them, So, but actually working there, I find it's a bit of a very sterile work environment. I remember the first time I ever went there, and I went there because of a meetup. So there was the writers meetup, which I highly recommend. I talk a bit more about it later in the video. But yeah, so I went there for the meetup. So I didn't have like a code or anything to open the door. And I literally walked in and I asked someone who was just walking past if they know where the reception is. And the guy looked at me like, you're such a first timer here. We don't have a reception here. And I was like, whoa, like, okay, hello, nice to meet you. Also, thanks for being helpful. So yeah, that's the kind of vibe. I mean, maybe it was just that one dude. Maybe not everyone there is like that, but it was just not my type of co-working space. But if you want to get a lot of work done, it has its pros and cons. Like, again, like the writers meetup was there. The location is great. The work setup is great. The Wi-Fi was fast. If you want to try it a little bit, they also have the coffee shop where you can sit and work from there if you want to get this like work vibe and atmosphere to get things done. But yeah, in general, I really prefer the Punspace co-working spaces. There is one kind of at the northern part of the square, and I really like this one because after work you can very easily pop over to the Northgate Chess Bar, which I highly recommend. And there's also one kind of pretty much in the middle, which felt more like a coffee shop. In each of them, I just spent like a week. So I don't know what it would be like if you spent a bit more time there. I felt like they are not quite as social, but it was amazing to get some very important work done. When you come to Chiang Mai, you will most likely, hopefully, stay in one of the co-livings. And if you don't know what a co-living is, it's basically, imagine a hostel, but without the backpackers, but with adults who keep things clean. So that kind of community matched with a co-working space. So most of the times you will have digital nomads there, solo travelers who want to socialize with people, but also want to get work done, which I think is the perfect balance, and they offer you everything you need. And one of my favorite co-living places is Old Chiang Mai. They recently opened a second branch called Ping River, which is where I'm at right now. I really love it because they cover everything that you might need. You have laundry here, you have, of course, good co-working space, like a good desk setup, very comfortable beds. It's great. And the most important thing when it comes to co-livings is the community. Like, they have great events, they have breakfast every day, they organize pizza nights and movie nights and things like that. So if you're looking for a co-living, I highly recommend that. Depending on how much work you need to get done, maybe Old Chiang Mai isn't actually for you, because if you spend like a week or two there, you will not get much done. As soon as you sit downstairs in the co-working, every 5 minutes, like someone's gonna come past and you'll have a bit of a chit chat. And yeah, like I remember one day I sat down and I think around 10, and then it was 1, and I realized I just talked to people all day. They also keep that in mind. They have an own area for like a quiet space for if you really need to get work done. So if you're someone who can easily procrastinate, maybe avoid the Chiang Mai one. However, The Pink River one is still having access to the same community, but it's a little bit more detached from everything. So if you want a bit more of your own space, if you want things to be a little bit less FOMO-inducing, I actually really like it here. I was planning to this year also go back to the old Chiang Mai branch, but I liked it here a lot. I got a lot of work done. I even restarted this YouTube channel because I managed to be so productive with everything else that I started this. So I also highly recommend this one. And the rooms, I think, are a little bit more spacious, and yeah, the setup, like the equipment is great. And I mean, there are like 10,000 fridges here, which seems a bit excessive, but it's also like the fridge is the size of 2 people. The equipment is amazing and the community is great. So I really, really like that. I'm also going to check out Social Club. I hope John, who is the owner of All Chiang Mai, doesn't hate me for it. But I'm going to check out Social Club, and I'm going to tell you a little bit how that is later. There is also one in Nimman. I think I've never tried it, and I haven't met anyone who stayed there. I think it's called Hive or something like that. And then there's also one a little bit further outside called Hub 53, something like that. It's also kind of Nimman area. And I met a girl who stayed there, and she said it was completely empty and it wasn't social, and there was only one other guy who was a bit creepy, and that the layout was a bit odd because everyone can always see if you're in the room or not because of the way the windows are and stuff. So maybe it's worth trying it out if you want to stay in the Nimman area. But yeah, like, I mean, again, it's not my experience, it's just from what I heard, but it didn't seem to be very social. Those are the main co-livings in Chiang Mai. Also on the topic of co-livings, this one is not in Chiang Mai, but if you're looking for a co-living where you can just pop out for a surf, I highly recommend the homebase co-living. And I know this is like a bit of a sneaky thing because it's my co-living. It's in Sri Lanka in a place called Hirikatia. I'll add the link in the description because yeah, I really like it, and the feedback of the people who stayed there was really, really good. And yeah, you should check it out. If you're a bit like me and you're a coffee addict and you like to explore Digital Nomad place or any place by its coffee shops, then Chiang Mai is going to be one of your favorite places. They have so many coffee shops. I love them so much. One of my favorite places to work from is Graph in Nimman. And Graph Cafe has a ton of branches. I think there are like 7 or so in Chiang Mai alone. You might even have some in Bangkok, and not all of them have Wi-Fi. But the one in Nimman I quite like because it's actually never that busy, and I think it's because the entrance doesn't look like very obvious that you can go in. Sometimes they have the curtains closed, so you don't even know if it's open or not. The thing with Graph is that the the coffee is a little bit more expensive, and they kind of look like cocktails, and it's not just the typical espresso flat white that you'll get. They have so many amazing varieties where like they have this really good charcoal coffee, and one of my favorites is the pineapple one. I think it's the number 28. Yes, I'm a little bit of a Graph addict. I mean, I have the Graph stickers here on my phone. I really, really love that place. I really love the coffee. But there are a lot of places like this where you have kind of like cocktail drinks that are made of coffee. So the Graph in the Mun I really, really like because they have background music, but it's a bit quiet, and I don't feel as guilty there occupying a table. However, sometimes in high season it can get very busy. Another place I really like is Carrot CNX. It's in the Old Town, so this is the square. It's like somewhere down there. And they have this amazing carrot cake. I mean, they should, based on the name. And a really, really great dirty coffee. The only thing that I find a little bit annoying there is when you order your coffee, you get this little machine. And they do this in a lot of places in Thailand now. And it starts to vibrate and to beep as soon as your coffee is ready. I think that's a little bit annoying because like you're in your zone and then it goes like beep, beep, beep. And it just distracts you a little bit. But the coffee is great, and I like the different desks that they have there. Like, I mean, it's not proper desks, but they have a semi-good height. And another coffee shop, actually it's a chain, they're called Baristro. They also have several branches across all of Chiang Mai and also a little bit more outskirts. One I recently discovered is the Baristro by the train station. So as the name says, it's by the train station in Chiang Mai, and it's huge, and they have sockets, and yes, there's music, but the coffee is great, and I really like the atmosphere there. But they also have different branches. They have one in Nimman. They are really good. The Wi-Fi is decent. I never really felt guilty sitting there with my laptop for a long time. Actually, like there are so many more, but I know I can get on in a waffle if I talk about the coffee shops here. I actually wrote a blog post about the different coffee shops in Chiang Mai, so you can check that out in the description as well. On the whole coffee note, if you're a little bit like a coffee addict like I am, when you come to Chiang Mai, you will probably notice that there are as many coffee shops as 7-Elevens. Like they are everywhere. It's a great place, but it's also so tempting because you could spend all day in those coffee shops. The thing that I like here is that, again, like I mentioned before, they don't just have and nothing wrong with a great flat white, great cappuccino, or just an espresso, Americano, whatever. But they have there's so many varieties of coffee flavors, and they mix and match it. Like, one that you will see a lot is the orange coffee. And I know for some people it sounds absolutely crazy, but I love it so much. Like, the bitterness of the coffee with the sour sweet taste of the orange just goes so well together. There are like so many coffee shops like Graf that have these kind of cocktail style coffees where you can tell someone put a lot of thought into, okay, how can I enhance the flavor of this, and would it go well with that? And if I want it to be a bit sweet, or if I want it to be a bit more, it's just, oh, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I recently discovered a new place, this place called ORB, and they had this really, really nice coffee. And I was sitting there and I felt like, I'm having a work call, and they probably think that I'm sipping on an espresso martini, when in reality I just sip on a very fancy coffee. It even had a gold leaf on it. Like, it's a bit like over the top, but it's also super nice because when you go in there, you have this like nice entrance. I think it's actually a spa as well. But anyway, you will find so many amazing coffee shops. And yeah, and the reason why Chiang Mai has such a big coffee culture is because back in the days, farmers would actually have a lot of opium, and the government would incentivize them to stop farming opium and instead having coffee, which is great now. Like, I think it's good for the farmers, it's better for the people, and it's good for me because there's so much good coffee. Hi, I'm Lisi. I'm a freelance UX designer and digital nomad. And in this channel, I usually talk about how to be a successful freelancer, which you can check out the Freelance Blueprint podcast for that. And I also talk about what you can do with the lifestyle that you create for yourself as a freelancer and digital nomad, most likely, which is what I'm talking about in this video. So if you made it this far, maybe give this a little thumbs up, or maybe you can even subscribe. Okay, now back to the topic. So, budgeting. How much is it going to cost you when you come and live in Chiang Mai? And it's actually pretty cheap. I mean, of course, it depends on where you stay, where you go out. So that can vary quite a lot. So Chiang Mai is actually very, very affordable, like Thailand in general. Like, yeah, if you go to Bangkok, maybe it's more expensive. I mean, it's a big city, and it also really depends which area in Bangkok you go to. But in Chiang Mai, it is very affordable all around the town. Maybe Nimman area is a bit more on the pricey side because there are a lot of nomads, but in general, it's still very cheap. Like, if you have a European American salary or income or whatever, you will have a great time here. Maybe co-livings are a little bit more expensive than if you would just get like a normal apartment, but you also pay for the community, for the co-working, for other people to give you all the recommendations where you would spend tons of time researching, like watching this video. Hopefully it's not too much of your time. I hope that you find it valuable. There are things where you can spend more money, but you also get so much more in return. Like, for example, if you go to a co-living. When it comes to food, a meal, like the same pad thai can cost 50 baht somewhere, and maybe somewhere else it will cost 200 baht. So it really depends on where you go. But on average, the typical Thai dish can be between 40 and 80 baht, especially if you have it like as a night on the night market as a takeaway. If you order it on Grab, like if it comes from a local place, it will cost like maybe 60, 80 baht max. But then, of course, if you go to one of the more fancy areas, you can spend more money on the dishes. But like, more money means £5, so it's still very, very affordable. Saying that, which area in Chiang Mai should you stay? So Chiang Mai is very easy to navigate around because everyone can refer to the square. So at any time someone's asking me like, where are you staying? You can say like, oh, I'm in the square, or like on the top right corner of the square, like, yeah, maybe some people say north and east, whatever, but the square is like a really, really good way to orient yourself. So the square itself, everything inside that square is the old town. And then you have this one bit going away from it, which is the Nimman area, which is the more expensive area where all the digital nomads are. And I also understand why, because you can walk anywhere. You don't really need a scooter, but more on that later. And you have everything you need. Personally, I really, really like staying in Nimman. I also like staying in the old town. And more expats that live there long term, that live in Chiang Mai long term, they like to stay like in the top area of the square, where there are also amazing restaurants, and it's very, very easy to get from A to B. I think even from Ping River all the way to Old Chiang Mai, Old Nimman, it's like 20 minutes, maybe less, depending on traffic. And it's usually faster to go there by scooter than by car. So maybe if you're a little bit unsure where you're going to stay, Maybe you can spend 1 or 2 weeks in Nimman, 1 or 2 weeks in the old town. So transportation, how do you get from A to B in the fastest and cheapest way? Even if you make a decision that you're staying in Nimman, but actually you want to spend more time in the old town, it's very easy to get from A to B. Most of Chiang Mai is very walkable. There are pavements, like you will have to look on the floor because sometimes you'll just have like potholes or a massive tree and things like that. So it's not like in Europe where everything is like safe and straight, but there are designated areas for pedestrians, so that's a good thing. If you need to go a little bit further, and also sometimes it can get extremely hot, so you might want to hop on a bike. Most of the people are on scooters here. What I usually do is I just call a Grab or Bolt. So every country has their own apps. I think like in Indonesia they have Gojek, things like that. In most of Europe we use Uber, but it can be a bit expensive. But in Thailand they mainly have Bolt and they have Grab. There's also something called InDriver, which is often very cheap, and there you basically haggle the price. Like you say how much you would offer, and then the drivers can say they can drive you for this price or not. And if you notice no driver is going to pick you up, you just increase the price. So that's more if you have time, if you want to haggle your price. But I mean, honestly, even Grab, where everyone says it's more expensive than Bolt, one drive like from here, like wherever I go, it's like a 5 to 10 minute drive. It's like £1. Like, why do I haggle about like 50 cents here and there? The thing with Grab, supposedly more money goes to the driver, and with Bolt, they get less off the batch. And honestly, I had Grab and Bolt drives that were like 37 baht, which is like £1. And how can they even get less than that? Would highly suggest that you tip people, because I don't think they make a lot of money and they're out and about all day. And during Songkran, they also drive through the water splashes. So yeah, definitely tip them, because honestly, a £1 journey is nothing for us. That's the best way to get from A to B. My favorite way to travel, and that's especially useful in the old town, is the Songtheos. It's not really a bus and not really a van. You will see them around a lot. Song actually means two, and Songtheo means the two benches, and that's basically the layout of those cars. They have these two benches at the back, and it might be a little bit intimidating to drive in one of them if you don't speak Thai. But if like some of the drivers, they speak decent English, and if you tell them where you want to go and they don't really know the place because maybe they don't use Google Maps, like they know the town, they know how to get from A to B, they know the best ways to get there, they know all the shortcuts and things like that, but they might not know that one specific coffee shop that you want to get a ride to. What's very easy for them is to tell them the closest temples, and there are a ton of temples in Chiang Mai. So you can just tell them roughly where you want to go by just telling them which temple you want to hop to, and then you get at the back of the Songtail. Like, first of all, you hail them, and they might like hump a little bit when they drive past you to let you know, like, oh, there's one of them if you want to hop on a ride. So you just wave at them, then they will come, you will tell them the closest temple to the location that you want to go to, and then you hop at the back. And then there's also like some buttons at the ceiling or on the sides at the back of the Songtail that you press when you want to hop off, and then they will stop. And then you can get off, you pay in the front, and usually it's like 40-50 baht, and it's the way the locals travel. So yes, of course, they will hop on a Grab and stuff as well, but it's very nice to explore the town in a Songtail at the back. Oh, and if you think about how to get a transport from the airport to your location, that's very simple. Like at the airport, they have like these taxi systems, and it's between 150 200 baht per ride, depending on if you go inside the old town or a little bit further out. But it's a set fee for all of them. Like, of course, you can order Grab or Gojek, not Gojek, a Bolt from there. But usually the price difference isn't that much of a deal, and they already have their taxis there. So just use one of them. It's super easy. It's very straightforward. What do you need to bring to Chiang Mai as a digital nomad? I have the whole blog post of my digital nomad essentials, no matter which temperature, which country I'm going to. The good thing with Chiang Mai is it's so easy to buy anything that you need. You can just hop to Maya Mall, you can go to any of the night markets and browse. If you need something very specific, like a certain adapter, you can just order them on Shopee or Lazada online, and it will come to your address within 1 or 2 days. Even if you don't have everything you need, like it's very easy to get things. And what my sister and I, my mom, like basically my whole family would do when we would come to Thailand back then, before I was a nomad, we would have a half empty suitcase and fly back with a full one, because things here are very cheap, they're very cute, they're very affordable, and usually good quality. So that's what we would do, which, looking back, is probably not the best thing to do, because you end up shopping for the sake of shopping. So yeah, just buy what you really need and something that you will reuse. If you really like shopping and you need a new wardrobe or whatever, Thailand is a great place to go shopping. So even if you don't have whatever you need, you can easily buy it here. So what should you bring? Of course, your work equipment, your laptop. There isn't really anything specific where I'm like, you wouldn't bring this anyway, so I need to point it out. The only thing I would point out is that you should bring a light jacket or a thin jumper, because in some places, in the malls, in some co-working areas, they wake up the AC so much, also in some restaurants where it's just so freezing. Sun lotion, you can buy this here, but with any face creams, any makeups, any stuff that you put on your skin, sometimes you will not find something that doesn't have some sort of bleach in it, because in Thailand it is a beauty standard to be very pale. Unlike us, where we want to go outside and have a tan, they really like to stay white, and it's a beauty standard here. So a lot of their beauty products, sun lotions, even deodorants, like how do you even get a tan down there? They have bleach in it, or like some sort of lightening for your skin. So maybe bring your products from home if you want to make sure that there is nothing like that in your sunscreen or face cream or whatever. Oh, and one thing that you should probably bring is some earplugs, because walls in Thailand are very thin. You can often, and maybe you hear the background noise now of the people outside on the living room, because the walls are very thin. You might hear people snore, and depending on where you stay, in the old town next by a road or in the Nimman area, it can be a bit noisy, also at night. So just get some earplugs. What about networking and socializing in Chiang Mai? That is actually very easy. People here are very friendly. I even met someone at some point because he was sitting in the same restaurant as me, and we kind of ended up having a conversation from there. So you will see other solo travelers. You can see how open they are. Just smile at them and see if there's going to be a conversation. You also, like, not everyone here is a nomad. Some people are just like traveling, and maybe they don't want to make friends, or they're here as a couple, but it is actually quite easy. And if you want it to be a bit more in an obvious concept where you will understand, okay, I'm here for networking, you can always join all Chiang Mai events. You can browse the Facebook communities. So every nomad place has their own platform. There just is a platform. And for example, one of my favorite places to go to is Las Palmas in Spain, in the Canary Islands. I love it there so much. And there you will find everything happening on a Slack channel. But in Thailand, everything basically happens on Facebook groups. So yeah, Facebook, yes, people are still using it. So you log into your Facebook account and you just search for something Chiang Mai, and you will find it. Like, I found the writers meetup this way, and I really, really like that community because it's a little bit older. They basically meet once a week. I think it's on a Tuesday, just to write things. People there write their books, they write blog articles, whatever it is. I go there to do my UX stuff because I find that environment that it creates, I just get so productive there when everyone around me works and there's a set time. Okay, we work now, then we have a bit of a gap where we socialize, and then we work again, and then whoever wants to stay can stay. And I really, really like that concept. So that community is a little bit older. And again, I like it because it shows me we don't have to be young to have this lifestyle. I can still do this when I'm 40 and 50. This is how I found that community. And there are so many other communities in Chiang Mai. Just browse on Facebook groups. So when is actually a good time to come visit Chiang Mai? Well, there are high seasons and low seasons. So right now, as I'm filming this video, it's low season. And the reason it's low season is the smoky season, which usually starts between February and April. And it's because all the farmers are preparing the fields for the next season. So they burn all the crops from the previous year. And unfortunately, it's still the most efficient and cheapest way for them to do so. And yes, it's not the most environmentally friendly, but it's not just Thailand. It's also places in Vietnam and Laos that do that. And the location of Chiang Mai in that way is not ideal because you get the smoke from all the neighboring farmers as well. And because of the mountains, it kind of stays in the area. So the air pollution can be very, very bad. Some people run around with masks because you inhale so much of the bad pollution. The people that can, they leave Chiang Mai. And in a way, maybe that's also one of the reasons why Chiang Mai is as good as it is, because if it would be good all year round, there would be way more expats and Chiang Mai would lose a lot of its local touch. Can be a good and a bad. Like, it depends on how you see it. The good thing about coming here in low season is usually you get a very, very good deal on a really good apartment. Things are cheaper. It's way less busy. But then also the things that you would like to do, like go on a hike and things like that, you're probably going to avoid if the air pollution is really bad. But you also get some really good pollution day, like good pollution days with less pollution. during the smoky season, because maybe it just rained and then you can go on a hike the next day, but then it's going to be less crowded because there are no people there. So it really depends. If you are willing to seize the day with whatever happens, there are apps where you can track the air quality. In old Chiang Mai, they actually have air purifiers and stuff in every place to make sure that people stay healthy. Maybe if you want to save some money and if you want to come here when it's less crowded, it can be a good time to come. I avoid the smoky season. Towards the end of February, towards Songkran time, it's usually when the rain season is starting, and also it gets a bit busier because of Songkran. Then it can be good again. The high season is usually in winter time. So it starts from like late October until February, and the climate is super nice. It's not quite as humid. It's a very, very nice temperature. There might even be some days where it can be chilly, especially at night, especially in the mountains. And the reason it's super busy is often also Loy Krathong. So Loy Krathong is the Lantern Festival, which is, I would highly recommend everyone to go see it. It's stunning. It's so beautiful. It's such a nice atmosphere in the city, but also it's fucking crowded. Like, you will not be able to get from A to B. You will not, like, even Graf Cafe, where I mentioned before, like, it's so easy to find a spot. Even there it's busy, you know? So it is very, very, very crowded. It will be harder to find a taxi. It will be harder to get from A to B. It's so much more traffic. It's absolutely mad. But the lanterns, it's special. It's very special. But also be mindful when you come here for the lanterns, because it is a lot of pollution. I'm going to do a video on that topic when we get to it. It's basically the main seasons. So we have smoky season, February, March, April, and we have the high season, especially Loy Krathong in November, and then all of the winter. In summer, people don't come here as much because of the rainy season, but actually it's quite nice. Like, if you want it to be a little bit less busy but still have a good time, rainy season is probably a good time because it does cool down with the rain. It doesn't get as busy, and the rain is usually there for like maybe half an hour, and then it stops, and then you can continue with your day. But also summers are very nice in Europe. Like, oh, so many options as a nomad. Like, it's really hard to decide. We have a very hard life. Food. One of my favorite topics, food, especially Thai food. This actually deserves its own video. I think I'm gonna make an own video. I made a video just about Thai Quid Teo, like the bold noodles, which you can see here. But basically how to get food, just go for a walk. You'll find one restaurant after the other, and you don't have to do much research. They're usually pretty good. Like Thai food, like even like a mediocre meal here would be considered a very good food in other places. You can't really do much wrong. If you are a bit lazy, if you have to, or like you don't have the time to go to a restaurant all the time, it's very easy to get food delivered. There's Panda. There is also, you can order food via Grab. I also really like going to malls for the food. They usually have the not fancy, but like more group restaurants where they have shabu, hot pots, things like that in the upper floors. And then they have the markets and stalls like Kupong malls food in the basement. And there you can get like very cheap, very affordable, very fast food. There's just so many options. Two places I really, really like when it just comes to general exploring. It's in the north and the south of the square. And you will find these little food markets, and they usually open late. So it's like from 7 p.m. onwards until even midnight, 1 or 2 a.m. There is this one place near the North Gate. There's this lady which sells the most amazing mango and sticky rice just outside the 7-Eleven. And there is also this place which has this, it's so simple, it's just like fried vegetables. You will see the queue. You will find the place by the queue. Oh my God, it's I don't want to hype it too much, because, you know, when something is super hyped, you go there and it's like, this is what we're queued for. So also like down your expectations. But it's just salad, some very quickly stir-fried salad with a bit of meat if you want to. And like, how can you make something that healthy is so delicious? Like, it's, I love it so much. Then also, one thing that can be super hard to find as a traveler is like your routine and a good gym and a good workout. If you're like me and you like to explore different things, like different sports, Chiang Mai is actually great. You can do so many things here. Of course, there's Muay Thai. You definitely have to do a Muay Thai class when you come to Thailand. You have pole dance. You have Pilates. You can go bouldering here. There are so many options. There are paddle places. Like, whatever you want to try, they probably have it here. I think they even have like an indoor surf thing somewhere, something like that. You can find so many things. Just go on Google Maps. For Pilates, I use ClassPass. I'm actually surprised at how many different places they have ClassPass. I know this is not sponsored. I find it just very convenient as a nomad. I used ClassPass in London, in Lisbon, in Bali, in Chiang Mai. And Chiang Mai doesn't have that many options. Bangkok has a lot of options. I love ClassPass in Bangkok. It's great. For my reformer Pilates classes, I actually find it cheaper to use the ClassPass account for it. So I'll also have the little referral link in here, and it gives you like, I think, 2 weeks worth of classes to try for free. And maybe if you convert to a paying customer, I could get a class for free as well. I'll add that in the description. Oh, and of course there's yoga as well. And actually, if you do yoga at Old Chiang Mai in the Old Town, it's usually on Tuesday, and in Ping River it's on Wednesday. You get a 4-day pass also to use the Coworking, which is great. So with the Coworking, you then also have access to a meeting room if you need it. I think that you have to pay extra for, but they have phone booths and stuff. If you want to do some yoga in the morning and then actually get some work done, you can do that there. And while you're in Chiang Mai, definitely make sure that you do these things, no matter if you're a nomad or not. First of all, you definitely have to get a Thai massage. 100% you have to get a Thai massage. In the Old Town, there is a chain called Lila Thai Spa or Lila Massage or something like that. You will find a lot of the branches scattered around. I never really had a bad massage there. It's a chain where they basically train up women that used to be in prison and bring them back into society. It's a great cause. It's great massages. It's so good. And then you will find some other massage places where you can just pop by. Not all of them, like, I mean, you're in Thailand, you will most likely get a good massage, but sometimes it's not super amazing. And sometimes when you go very late at like 8 or 9, the therapists are usually very tired, so you might not get as deep of a massage as you would like. But for me, a good indicator if the massage space is good is if they wash your feet first. Because if you walk around in Thailand, you usually have flip-flops and stuff. You get so much dirt on your feet. The Thai massage, they often start with the feet and then massage the rest. So if they don't wash your feet first, I'm a bit like, you basically put all the stuff, the dirt that I have on my feet on the rest of my body. So if they massage your feet, which they do in the Lila Spa Thai, there's also sensors. There's also Phalana Spa, which is quite pricey, but it's quite an experience. It's super nice there. Like, honestly, definitely have a massage when you're in Thailand. Then, of course, in Chiang Mai, you have to visit Doi Suthep. It's one of the temples further in the mountains. Avoid the hot time. Don't go there from, let's say, 11 till 3 because the sun is gonna like burn you. And it's super nice to go there for sunset. My dad really likes that time as well. Like, he says there's this one time where you can see the sun setting just above the temple, and yeah, definitely go visit there. You can get a Songtheo there. You can also get the Songtheos down again. Like, you will not get stuck there, but it can be tricky if you go there after sunset to find a Grab or something. Of course, you would have to drive all the way up there to pick you up, but there will be a way to bring you down. Also, something that you should do is to go to university. They have this super nice park. It's not open 24/7. There's this lake. Go there for a stroll. They have this coffee shop. Get a takeaway coffee and just walk there. It's such a nice atmosphere there. And of course, one thing, and I think that actually deserves its own video, is going to be the markets in Chiang Mai. They have the Sunday night market, they have the night bazaar market, which I think is open every day, and they have Chin Chai market, Cham Cham market, coconut market. Yeah, I think that one deserves its own video. But yeah, definitely go check out the markets in Chiang Mai while you're here. Cool. I think those are the main things that you need to know about Chiang Mai. One little bonus I want to give you is that in Thailand, they have different dialects. Actually, it's, I think, more of its own language, but it's also unfortunately dying out a little bit, so not many people speak it anymore. But in Northern Thai, they speak the Northern Thai dialect. It's where my mom is from, so my Thai isn't that great. Like, I didn't grow up here, but it's always super nice to know a little bit of Thai. And like the basic things that you will know is kap kun ka, kap kun kap. Women, or if you identify as a woman, you will end your sentences with ka, and as a man with kap. Think of it like a teacup, and like the handle like a P. And women always have a bit less than men, so we don't have the handle. We have to live life touching the hot cup. So we don't have cup, we have ka. In the northern dialect, instead of ka, they say chao, which is a very cute version. Like, people always find it very cute when I say this. But supposedly men are not allowed to, like, not allowed, but it's not something that you would say as a man. So you can say kap kun chao, Savadi Ciao. It's just, they're gonna find it super cute, and you will put a smile on their face. That's a little bonus for the things that you need to know in Chiang Mai. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it and that you learned something new about Thailand as well. So hopefully you know enough about Chiang Mai now. I hope you already made up your mind if you want to go or not, because yes, you should definitely come here. No matter what time of the year, you should definitely come here. And if you have any more questions, drop them in the comments below. And if you watch this video, you will most likely come to Thailand. So I highly recommend that you watch this one next. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I see you again next time. Bye.